Today, we are going to talk about how you are going to achieve your health and fitness and nutritional goals in 2024. Whether you want to build muscle or lose fat or run a marathon, that stuff doesn't matter as much as what? Consistency. It's great to have health and fitness goals, but without consistency, those goals are really just a dream. I see this so much in my industry, especially around January 1st. People are like jumping on the bandwagon, trying to get in the best shape of their lives. They start restricting calories and doing all these things to help them lose weight. And then 4 to 6 weeks later, sometimes even sooner, they've just gone back to their old ways. And I see it throughout the year too, this on the wagon, off the wagon kind of mentality, which I've talked a lot about on this channel. Let's get on the wagon and let's stay on the wagon this time. Hey, and because fat loss is probably the #1 goal I hear, I mean, most people do say weight loss, but we're focusing on fat loss. My next video that's gonna come out next week will be all on the ways to lose fat and to keep it off. And I'm gonna promise you, these ways are not that hard. There's gonna be probably about 5 to 7 ways you can do it. And if you just do one of them and stay consistent, you will lose fat and you'll keep it off and change that body composition. Welcome to Boom 50 Fitness. My name's Regan, and this is your channel for all things health and fitness in your 50s and beyond. It is your time right now to start developing the habits and the routines that are going to set you up for success in 2024. I have a little bit of a cold, so if I sound stuffed up, my apologies, but we're gonna power through this video because it is so important for me to get this info out to you. All right, I've given you these 3 student examples before, but if you have not heard this in one of my previous videos, I'm just gonna say it again really quick. So there are 3 students. One student does about 40% of their homework, doesn't study at all for the big exam, and ends up failing the course. Student number 2 does 60 to 80% of the homework, studies a little bit for the exam, and just kind of skates by with an average grade. All right, student number 3, I think you know where I'm going with this. Student number 3 does 100% of their homework, studies about the same amount as student number 2 for the exam, a little bit, not too much, and ends up with a B+ or higher. All right, I'll ask this question, but you probably can figure out the answer. Why did student number 3 do better than student number 1 and number 2? Was it because he or she was smarter? Not necessarily. It's because for student number 3, homework was not an option. They put in a little bit of effort over a long period of time and ended up with better results. And that is because nothing beats consistency. So today, I'm gonna give you 7 steps to reach your goals and master consistency. Step number 1, make a plan. This plan should include a timeline with a start and an end date and the actionable steps it will take to reach that goal. All right, here's an example. Say fat loss is your goal, not weight loss, because remember, we want to change your body composition. So let's say fat loss is your goal. Have that timeline with the start, the end date, and the actionable steps to achieve that goal. So that might be making sure you have calendared out when your workouts are going to be. Maybe this would include hiring a nutritionist or a dietitian to help you reach your nutritional goals, things like that. Those would be the actionable items in the plan to reach the goal. All right, you get the idea. Make a plan. Step number 2 is to create milestones. What does that mean? That means these should be small little goals within your big goal. This is going to be the best way to track your progress and make sure you are staying on track. All those little goals are like tiny little successes. So celebrate those little milestones on the way to that big goal. Goal number 3 is to make time to work on your goals. You've got to block off that time on your calendar. And just like student number 3 with the homework, it was non-negotiable. This is the time slot that can't be used for anything else. Yes, things come up, emergencies come up. So if you're really, really serious about your goals, which I know you are, a great idea would be to have the original time slot blocked out that's non-negotiable, but then have an emergency slot somewhere later in the day, just in case something came up. All right, that makes sense. So you have no excuse not to do it. Okay, step number 4. Only worry about the here and the now, the present moment. Wait, what? Our goals are in the future. So why do we have to stay in the present moment? Well, really, the only reason is because if you think about that goal that's in the future, if you think too far out, what it can do is just seem a little too overwhelming, and you just might not progress the way that you want to. Sure, I know you want to reach those goals fast. You want to get there, but you have to be patient. And again, like I said before, you want to celebrate all those little successes. So stay in the present moment as much as possible. So yeah, try not to look too far towards the end of the timeline for your goal, because it will seem overwhelming. And the more overwhelming it is, the more likely you are to quit and just say, the hell with this goal. Let's pick another one. And yeah, that usually happens around week 4 to week 6. So try to focus on the right now as much as possible. This is the important time, so take advantage of it. What are you going to do with it? All right, so we're staying in the present moment. What are you going to do with it, and how are you going to show up? Okay, number 5, I see people doing this all the time, but you have to stop negotiating with yourself. All right, back to student number 3. Remember, homework was not an option. Stop negotiating with yourself and get ready to do the work. Just stop trying to avoid the work that you need to do. Instinctively, we just avoid the things we don't want to do. And this just leads to procrastination. Or maybe that's the exact definition of procrastination. But if you want to reach your goals, you can't be a procrastinator. Come on, you made the commitment. Now you have to see it through. Okay, step number 6, revisit your goals. I know, a couple goals back we talked about not looking into the future too much. However, you do need to revisit your goals often. And what do I mean by revisit them? Well, your goals will be written down because remember, you made out that plan. So you should revisit those goals and make sure you are taking the time to hit those actionable steps to reach that goal. Another reason you want to do this is because it will keep you excited and motivated to keep reaching for those goals. You can stick little motivational notes on your mirror or set some reminder on your phone that encourages you to keep reaching for your goals. I mean, we all need a little more motivation every now and then. So have that motivation there when you need it most. And another thing you can do when you revisit your goals is dig into the why. Why that goal? Why is that the specific goal that you want to reach? I mean, if the why doesn't help you stay motivated, I don't know what will. Okay, let's move on to number 7. This is probably my favorite. You need to forgive your failures. I hate to say it, but you're gonna mess up. You're gonna make mistakes along the way. Things will come up, things will happen. Maybe you miss a workout or your friend invites you to a birthday party and you have a piece of cake. Not that that's a mess up, but what we want to do is try to stay on track as much as possible. So tomorrow's a new day. give yourself some grace. Did you turn your alarm off and go back to sleep and miss your workout? Well, things like this happen, and that's why it's important to have the 2 different blocks during the day. So there's your workout time, something happened that day, you had to bump your workout time later in the day, and you'll have to go after work or maybe when you're just lower on energy, and this will probably give you the motivation to not turn your alarm off the next day, because you're not going to want to work out again at 5:30 in the afternoon. Or maybe, silver lining, you work out at 5:30 for the first time ever and you're like, wow, I have a lot of energy this time of day, and you get one of the greatest workouts of your life. There's the silver lining if you overslept. So basically, just don't beat yourself up if things don't go perfectly as planned. But do ask yourself, what happened on this particular day for you to break your consistency? And then what do you have to do? You have to keep going. It's better to mess up 1,000 times and keep going than to mess up once and quit completely. So it's easy. The takeaway here is that consistency is the key to unlocking your goals. So if you want to achieve your goals, which I know you do, you have to master consistency. Your goals are so important, and I want 2024 to be your healthiest year yet, and I want all the years that follow to just keep getting healthier and healthier and healthier for you, and I am here to help. If you liked this video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up, smash that subscribe button if you haven't already, ring that bell notification so you're the first to know when my next video drops. And remember, next week's video is going to be on the ways that you can lose fat forever and keep it off and change that body composition, all that good stuff. So definitely stay tuned for that video because I know it's going to be a really popular one. Thank you so much for watching. My name's Regan. This is Boom 50 Fitness, your new BFF. I will see you next Thursday.